You're wandering through a strip mall, and what should you see betwixt a Chinese restaurant and a dentist? Well, it's a magical realm. You are entering the Last Video Store, a special place that has every single film on its shelves and an lunatic at its counter. That is me. I'm the clerk, Alexei Toliopoulos. I know about every single movie ever made, and I'm willing to talk to everybody I know about their favorite films. That is what this show is about. And who do we have wandering into the Last Video Store today? It is Michelle Brasier. My God, Michelle Brasier, one of the multi-talents in Australia's comedy scene. Her new book is out right now. It's called My Brother's Ashes Are in a Sandwich Bag. It is so moving, so freaking funny. I'm absolutely loving it. I've been listening to the audiobook version, and I did that deliberately because I want to hear Michelle's performance, and it is exquisite. It's exquisite, but it's so good. It's so moving. What else can we say about Michelle? You've seen her on Thank God You're Here. She's done like freaking every freaking comedy festival in the world, and now she's stopping here in Betoota to jump into the Last Video Store to talk about her favorite movies. And I'm going to talk about a new release with her, 2 weekly titles, and then I'm going to give her a bespoke customized recommendation based on her taste and also all the knowledge I have from reading her book right now. And if you want a bespoke customized recommendation, what do they do? Producer Emmeline, what do they do?
Hi, Lexi.
Hello.
They just need to give you a 5-star review, and we will perhaps read it out on the show and give them a bespoke recommendation.
I really put you into the water just then, dude. I was like, what do we do? What do we do? So I don't have to say it. But yeah, if you tell us what your weekly combo would be of a new release and 2 classic films, I'll give you a recommendation. You can hit us up on Instagram, on YouTube, all of that shit. And what do we have today? Who has dropped us one, Emmeline?
We have a review from Stevie Body.
Whoa, the body himself. Okay, exciting.
Or herself.
Wow, okay, sorry. Stevie's can be girls too, so sorry.
And they're from Belgium.
Wow, my God.
Have you ever been to Belgium?
I've never been to Belgium.
It's a great place. Have you heard of the Mannequin Piece?
The Mannequin Piece? What?
It's a statue of a little boy doing a tinkle. And when I went to Belgium when I was 10, I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, and now you understand the magnitude of that beautiful statue. I got to go to Belgium.
Yeah, you got to go.
The only thing I know about it is that's Dr. Evil's Belgian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we both have facts to the table.
That's it. The table's covered in facts right now. Okay, what does Stevie Body say? And by the way, merci.
Good. So they say, as a headline, I'd rent Toliopoulos for $1.
RoboCop reference. We love Robo.
A charming fellow presenting an entertaining show from the not too distant future.
Wow.
Strongly recommend. And then they say, dearest Dr. Toliopoulos.
Wow, I've got a doctorate for this one. Thank you.
I request the following videos. I'm going to try not to butcher some of these pronunciations.
Wow. The
beat that my heart skipped, aka de battre mon cœur s'est arrêté.
Oh my God, I actually felt so impressed in that. That's amazing.
Thank you. That's because you don't speak French, I think.
I don't. No. But that's from Jacques Audiard, one of my favorite directors.
The Babadook.
Wow, Jennifer Kent, Aussie.
And Titane.
Oh, Titan.
Titan. If that's still a new release.
We're counting it. We've still got it in our new release section because we want to make a few extra bucks off it.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm going to recommend to Stevie, the body or otherwise, will be... I love To Beat My Heart Skipped. But very few people know that it's a remake of an American film called Fingers from 1970s with one of my very favorite actors, Harvey Keitel. I love Harvey Keitel. If you like The Beat My Heart Skipped, I think there's worth going back and seeing the original. I think The Beat My Heart Skipped maybe a bit better, if I'm really honest, because Jacques Audiard is like one of my favorite filmmakers. But Fingers is worth it. It's interesting. It's got like, it's worth seeing for Harvey Keitel alone. So that's my recommendation. And unfortunately, it was almost a lukewarm recommendation after some really excellent picks. But check it out. It's Fingers. And thank you, Stevie. And thank you to all the people of Belgium. And especially that little boy doing a piss in that statue. And let's get into our chat with Michelle Brasier.
The Last Video Store.
for joining us inside this mystical realm known as the Last Video Store.
Wow.
Yeah, wander around, soak up the smells, and inhale the memories or films of your past.
Yes, I love it.
I've just been reading your book, Michelle. My brother's ashes are in a sandwich bag, and that's the name of your book. I didn't just make an announcement.
You didn't just say that.
I didn't just say something insane. But in your book, one of the first things I read is you mention 5 weeklies for $5. Not dissimilar to our little rental combo that we have here. Tell me about that. Take me back to your video store back in the day.
Okay, so my video store was Civic Video at Coringa Mall in Wagga Wagga, teen pregnancy capital of Australia. And I loved it. I was allowed to get anything.
Anything at all?
Anything.
R18 plus, we're talking that.
Anything.
Oh my gosh.
I got short bus. I was allowed to get anything when I was a kid. Like, I was like 12 and I was
and
like,
you're watching
this
Short
one?
Bus at 12?
Yeah, because I was like this tall. I hit puberty really young and I looked really old.
Wow.
So I just was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just getting this.
You go into the video
What's
store.
up?
Do you have any movies where an actual orgy takes place with real life sex? They go, yeah, we've got Short Bus.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
can take
oh, cool.
that. Yeah, awesome.
I'm horny and 12.
Well, it's a perfect cure for a horny 12-year-old to watch Short Bus.
know.
I think it would really either change you or in a good, positive way or relieve you and you just stay normal for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I think it made me normal.
I think
it
so.
made me go, oh, that's okay.
I mean, I never detected that this person that I've known for years saw Short Bus at the age of 12. So I
Thank
think
you.
it worked out.
Yeah, I think it worked out.
Wow. Have you seen it since?
I've not. Oh, maybe I saw it like when I was like 20.
Yeah.
I think as a group, you know how everyone has like a friendship group and they
Yeah.
go, we should watch Short Bus.
We gotta watch something fucked. We watched 9 songs in my friendship group, another actual sex
Oh,
movie.
yeah. That's a classic.
That's it. That's all the good stuff is the real life sex movies when you work at a video store. You just go like, God,
Yeah.
which one can I rent today of these 5 iconic movies that suck, but they have actual sex in them?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful
It's beautiful.
experience.
Wow. So what was the store like?
The store was like, okay, so you walk in and the
Mm-hmm.
counter is on your right, and then there was just like all the little aisles, and the new releases were at the far end. So you had to go through all the weeklies to
So you
get
had
to
to
the new
explore
releases.
the history of cinema to
Which
get
I
to the
really
new stuff.
liked
I think
because
that's
a
beautiful.
lot of them, it's just like new release on the first wall you see. This one, it made you really work for it. Wow. You had to go through and look at what was going on.
I'm actually moved to hear this.
It was
The feng
beautiful.
shui is on point in this beautiful Wagga Wagga store.
It was really good. And there was always like 2 screens, like 2 little TVs, one facing out so you could watch and one facing the person at the counter. And the person at the counter never did a thing. Like they were just watching the movie.
Wow, good on them.
Yeah, it was
That's-
beautiful.
That's one of my fellow soldiers out there.
Yeah, it was good.
Working those counters, staring at those flicks. And it was inside the actual, it was inside a mall?
Yeah, but when I say mall, I mean like
Strip mall?
like a strip mall.
I
Yeah,
love strip mall
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
I love strip mall culture.
Yeah. Next to a
What's-
Chinese restaurant.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
So you're waiting for your kung pao chicken to be
Yeah.
cooked together. You're
Yeah.
waiting for your sweet and sour pork.
Yeah.
And you're going on the adventures of your lifetime.
Exactly. There was a dentist on the other side. So it was kind of an like all you need.
Yeah, you could move into that strip mall any day.
Yeah, and I will.
Wow, I hope so. I think that should be a little community for us all. They should have a strip mall, and then just one level above is just a 5-6 apartments.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's it.
It's important.
I think it's really important.
It's good.
Well, anyway, that's it. We've discussed the store.
We've discussed the store. It's a beautiful
We got
store.
taken in. We all felt the geographical location of the store. We felt it. We felt moved by it. I cannot wait to find out what it is now. Do you know what it is now? Because surely it's closed down.
Oh, it is closed down. I don't know what it is now. Do you know what? It might be a Subway.
That's
Jared!
as bad as it gets, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I think Subway, I will never eat it again in my life.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've made that, not just from this, I've made
No,
the choice of my
this
life.
is for me. Yeah, you don't need Subway. Like, no one needs Subway.
Yeah, it's the final betrayal of Subway for me. Yeah, the Jared stuff is fucked up, but this, to replace cinema in a small town,
Not on.
disgusting.
Not
No,
on.
no, not good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll eat some soft shit bread another way. I'll find another way to enjoy it. But let's get into it, Michelle. I'm going to send you out through these aisles. And just for you, I'm reorganizing the store. So we've got the new release section all the way at the back. You're going to have to wander through the weeklies, experience the history of cinema as you go through that, touch a few covers, look at some horror, check out the section that has actual sex movies in it too. We've got the full section. Love is in there. 9 songs. All the movies are there. Ken Park's in there. It's banned in Australia, but we've got a copy.
Oh, my friend Lucy had a copy.
Whoa.
That was so exciting for me.
Yeah.
She's a doctor now.
Well, she learned a lot about anatomy quite early on in her
really
life
did.
then.
She
So
really did.
she got the right education.
Yeah.
All right, Michelle, my God. Dare I say it? This stack is stunning that you put in front of us. I'm feeling the emanating ramifications of cinema pulsating off this stack of films. And I'm learning more about you as I'm seeing about these. Yes, my empathy has just logged on. So let's get into it. Let's talk about your first film. We're going to go in the style that honors your video store. We're going to do weeklies first, and we're going to build up to the new release film.
Okay, beautiful. Thank
Yes,
you.
that's
Thanks for
it.
the respect.
I respect all video stores. I don't want it to be too much of a crazy experience. You coming all the way to Betoota and it's a strange video store.
Yeah.
I want it to feel familiar.
Thank you.
Weekly.
A film I've been dying to talk to you about, and not just a film, a saga. And not just a saga, a family. We're talking the 7th entry in the Fast and Furious saga. We're talking Furious 7.
Yes.
Action.
I know that you are one of the biggest fans probably in the entire world.
Yeah, I'm like a sommelier, but for Fast and Furious.
You know which one that you could entice people with?
Yeah, like if you're eating a meal, I could pair it with a Fast and Furious
Okay,
film.
we'll say I'm eating a big bag of popcorn. Which one?
A big bag of
I'm eating a
popcorn?
big bag of popcorn in a dark room. Which one should I put on?
Tokyo Drift.
Wow. Okay, nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting in my mum's kitchenette. The TV is in the same room, and I'm eating spanakorizo, which is a Greek spinach rice dish.
Okay, are you by yourself?
I am by myself. My mum has cooked it, but she's gone to physiotherapy or something. So I'm just sitting there by myself eating it at the table.
Lights on, lights off.
The lights are dimmed. No overhead lighting. We have a
Okay.
lamp on. And it's daytime. I'm eating dinner very early, so there is daylight coming in.
Too Fast, Too
Too
Furious.
Furious. Wow. 4.5 stars from Margaret Pomeranz, by the way, back in the day.
I know, I love that. I love her for that.
I never forget it. It's one of my greatest memories in life is sitting in front of the TV and seeing that happen. But Furious 7, why is this the one that you have chosen in your rental combo? You could have picked all 10.
I know.
Even Hobbs and Shaw was at your disposal.
I love Hobbs and Shaw. Have you seen the short films that Vin Diesel made to bridge the gaps?
Is that Los Bandoleros?
Los Bandoleros, yeah. Have you seen?
Oh, wow, the accents. I felt the
Sorry.
tingle as
I'm Spanish. My family's Spanish. Not everyone knows that, but I guess a girl can have secrets. And when I say my family, I mean La Familia.
your other family.
My other family.
Your other family.
My birth family or whatever, not my fast family.
Not your chosen Revhead family.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I could have chosen any of them. But Furious 7, something happened when I was watching Furious 7 that took me by surprise. Because I started watching these films and I thought, Fast and Furious, that'll be a romp. And I went through and then we get to 5 and it becomes camp. Dwayne The Rock Johnson enters, it becomes camp.
Yep.
And I go, okay, now it's more of a heist movie and I like this even more. And then we get to 6 and I'm like, okay, I'm really invested in the characters in these romp movies that I love. And also I like the cars.
Yeah.
But we're kind of not paying much attention to them, but I still love the cars. And then 7 happened. And at the end of 7, I find myself simply bawling. And I was like, I thought I started this ironically. And now I have arrived at a place where I will defend this to the end of the earth. I will tell you it is a feminist manifesto. I will write an essay on Letty. I will do anything for this film. Everything changed at 7.
I think 7 is you're exactly right, because it's when the irony and the sincerity become this strange brew.
Yes.
Obviously there's stuff out of control from this movie. There's real life elements that come into play where tragically we do lose Paul Walker.
Yes.
We do lose Paul Walker, unfortunately, in this realm, and then we have to continue making the movie because the movie's being made and people need their fast familiar, you know?
We need the familiar.
And so I think how bizarrely elegantly it's handled in this film.
Yeah.
And with this complete emotional depth. And I cannot listen to Wiz Khalifa without getting misty-eyed, you know?
Beautiful.
I
The Paul
cannot.
Walker is Dead song.
Of
and
course.
I tell you sing all about it when Paul Walker is dead.
And that's how
my
he submitted it to the
parody
Academy Awards
lyrics,
under
yeah.
that alternate title.
Yeah.
But it's, I would tell you, I'm not dissimilar to you, where I grew up watching these movies. The first one came out when I was like in school. And I was like, oh wow, this is so awesome. I love this shit. I love Vin Diesel. He's one of my great obsessions in life is Vin Diesel.
Yeah, he's what a man.
What a man, dude. Because he's exactly that too. Like he is so masculine, but then the sincerity is so powerful and his earnestness is so eager that it comes back around to being like operatic campness.
It's camp. It's musical theatre for boys.
It truly
Thank
is,
you, Mark
right?
Sinclair.
Wow.
Vincent Diesel.
Vincent Diesel, his birth name. And Mark Sinclair, cool name. He didn't need to change it, but he got the only thing that was cooler to go, it's my name's based on a car.
It's so good. Vin Diesel.
But the thing that I love about him is like have you ever gone onto the Vin book, his Facebook page?
I have a little, yeah. I love the videos he posts.
I love those videos.
Long, sometimes really long.
My favorite one is he sings Stay by Rihanna.
I've never seen that.
Oh my God, dude. It should be a bonus feature during these movies because he sings it and it's not like a karaoke track. You can hear her voice in it and stuff. And he's just singing it and he's wearing a suit and I'm presuming it's in his home and it's just a camera pointed at him. He's got a projector screen in the background that's kind of reflecting onto him as well. And he's singing it so sincerely in this deep, deep baritone voice. And the caption that goes along with it is just him being like, oh, you know, like I always want to show my sensitive side and all this stuff. And he's just so gravelly and so gravelly sincere. The only video that's better than that is there's one where it's just his laptop computer screen. It's just his laptop. And he is dancing. Definitely he's drunk. Dancing to Drunken Love by Have you seen it?
Yeah.
In the longest board shots you've ever seen in your life.
Yes.
All the way to the shin.
Yeah, all the way to the shin. Have you seen the one where he's in a hot tub with, what's the actor that plays Han? What's his name?
Oh,
Sung Ho Kang.
Yeah. That's him.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know this video. So they're in a hot tub together.
They're in a hot tub and they're like, he's kind of talking. It was right before the Dwayne Johnson reunion.
Wow.
And he's sort of talking to the camera and they're clearly high. I haven't watched it in a while, but it goes for, it feels like 40 minutes. Wow. Like it's so long and it's just like, we're making magic and the magic can't happen. And it's just, it's so beautiful. And he's so sincerely speaking about how important these movies are.
How do you think that translates to the films? Because he is such a sincere guy and these films become so sincere. Do you think, like, where do you think the characterization is there for him?
I don't know what he knows about these movies. I don't know, like, how much. Do you know what I mean? Like, how much does he know what the movies are? But I love that even more. And maybe he's a genius and he's like,
might be.
I can see that it's funnier if I'm this man outside of this. Or maybe he's just a strange guy who said, I want to do Riddick. And they said, you can only do Riddick if you do this Fast and Furious franchise.
Wow.
And then he said, yeah, I'll do the Cars. And then went, what if the Cars was family? And then he's just that man. And either way, beautiful.
I think, oh my God, I'm moved to hear this. I'm moved to hear this elaboration of one of my favorite guys. One of the great meatheads. He's like truly meathead, revhead, but he's all heart.
He's a good man.
He's a good man. I hope he is.
I hope he's a good man. Do you know what? We're saying he's a good man. I'm certain we Google it one time. There'll be like 4 cancelable offenses.
And he's so bad we get cancelled for loving Vin Diesel.
He's like the worst man alive. And we're like idolizing him.
I think the other thing I loved about Furious 7 was in Fast and Furious 6. Even to know the titles is crazy, but Fast and Furious 6, the last moments when you have that revelation of going like, oh, hang on, now we're seeing Tokyo Drift shit.
Yeah, that was amazing.
From a different angle.
That was like, that reminded me of, because I'm a big Doctor Who fan, which you wouldn't know from looking at me because I'm so cool and hot. But I love Doctor Who. And I remember when they like retroactively did something like that. And I remember being like, whoa, non-linear storytelling.
Yeah.
I thought it was so incredible. And it just blew my mind. And that's why you're reading my book right now. My book is not written in chronological order, probably because of these movies.
It's the greatest inspiration of it all.
I'm trying to Tokyo drift you.
Wow, I'm feeling connected, like we're family.
We are.
But those last moments in that kind of post-credit space, that liminal space between the credits and the time when the lights came back on the cinema, where you're seeing all that shit from another angle, and it's the greatest reveal of all time. That's Jason Statham. And when I remember seeing it in the cinema, going, "Holy fuck, is that the transporter? Is this a transporter in these movies too?" And then it took a long enough time for when the movie came out that I forgot that I thought it was going to be the transporter. I was just like, "Okay, it's Jason Statham. I like this. But yeah, Furious 7, I think it's like a real high point for this franchise.
It was beautiful. I can see why some people think it went up and then it went down. I think it continued to go up.
I liked Fate a lot.
Fate was great. Fate was great.
And I loved F9.
Yeah, I loved F9. I mean, I love all of them. Yes. I loved Fast 10, Your Seatbelts. Mm-hmm. You did not love Fast 10.
I did not like Fast X.
I'm so sad about this.
I was so bummed out about it.
I wonder if if you didn't like it for the same reason that I did like it.
Why did you not like it?
No, I did love it.
I mean, why did you like it? Tell me why I didn't like it.
I loved it because it felt so divorced from reality.
Yes, truly.
And it was so funny. The idea of just having so much footage from Fast 5 or 6? 5.
To me, it's 5. One movie. You know when people go, "Oh, it's a TV show," but it's actually just a 17-hour movie.
Yes.
This is the only time that's true. This is one opus.
This is one magnum opus.
I cannot differentiate them. I don't know
what
happened.
Opera.
There's some that I've forgotten exist, and I've seen them all, and I go, "Okay, who's the villain in this one?"
And the thing is, they're the villain in one, and then in the next, they're in the family, which is such a beautiful. And I really love the elevation of that.
Yes.
And like the escalation of the way that they've done that in 10 is insane. I also love, I just think it's so camp. I love to take all that footage and then to just like keep the camera rolling, add an extra guy.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And they do it 3 times because they know it's funny. They know it's funny. Vin doesn't know. Some of them know, some of them don't. Jason Momoa, I think, knows. I think he knows exactly what's going on.
Momoa is a revelation.
Momoa is incredible in it. Mm-hmm. And this whole I think, so Fast 10 Fast X is the campest of them all. Mm-hmm. And I think it was heading so camp. It was already musical theatre for boys. Wow. And they just went, okay. Yeah, here it is. It's more camp now. Why did you not like it? What was your take on it? Also, at the end, in the post-credits, where absolute spoiler alert, we get our guy back, I nearly died. I screamed. I leapt to my feet.
I don't know what it was. I'm trying to take myself back to that day. Where was I? I was in the cinema.
Did we go to the same premiere?
No,
Were you
I
in
was
Melbourne?
at the Sydney one. I was at the Sydney premiere.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what it was because it's. I think I tried to repress the memory because I felt so upset that I didn't like a Fast movie.
Have you seen it again?
I've never done it.
Perhaps we'll watch it together while I'm here in Sydney.
I think we should do it.
Yeah.
I think because there's something wrong in my body. There's something sitting in me wrong to not like a Fast movie. I think it was. I didn't feel the campness this time because I felt like it was too knowing. And I think when I think of camp, there should be an awareness to it, but I think that for this one, there was too much leaning into it, and that drifted away from Tokyo drifted away. If I can take a second take at that. Drifted away from the sincerity that I care about with these Fast movies for me.
I understand what you're saying. I really loved seeing like the sincerity of Vincent Diesel and then the campness of Jason Momoa.
Okay.
I
need to get that Neapolitan mix.
And I also thought there was a third flavor in the Neapolitan, which was like when we had just like wacky uncle jumping out of a plane. Okay. Like that was very like, okay. And he was doing his like, he did one of his wrestling moves.
Yeah, John Cena. I don't like him in this.
Listen, I loved it. I actually loved it. And I didn't think I was going to. And then I was like, all right, this is a wacky holiday film in the middle of my favorite movie. And I'm actually here for it and I will allow it. There's a scene that reminds me of Jumanji where they're like, they have to sort of like they get like a rope across the thing and they're like, it's crazy. This is crazy how we never die. And it's like, it is very knowing. You're right. But I like it.
I'm just going to say one more thing before we move on because all I could think about back in Fast 9 when we've got John Cena was who else could have played the Vin Diesel brother character?
Yeah.
Because I was just like, John Cena, he's not right for me. I was like, we need someone in there. I was like, okay, I was thinking my top 3, Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage should be in the Fast and Furious
He's got to be.
films.
He should be the final villain or
He
something.
should be the final villain, absolutely.
And then number 2, John Travolta.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I think that sometimes Vin's character's Italian, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Sometimes he is.
There's no way of knowing.
So I'm kind of in that area.
I think he addresses that and says, like, there's no way of knowing. They speak Spanish at home.
Yeah.
He has, like,
He has abuela.
abuelita, like,
Yes, I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
okay.
And then my final, Chris Maloney.
Who's Chris Maloney?
He's Elliot Stabler from Law and Order
Oh,
SVU.
okay, yeah. Okay,
I think I would love him because I think he can hold it there.
Okay.
And he's bald.
Yeah.
And he's really built and he's beautiful.
That
and I
is
love him and he's my
true.
hero.
He is your hero, and I love that. I wonder. All right, I'm gonna keep thinking on like who else I think could be in it, but I think I'm happy with John Cena. I feel that it's a wrong choice, and I kind of like it because of that.
Okay, well, you're getting this one out as well. We're going to chuck in Fast X into your thing too, and I'm going to come and watch it.
Okay, beautiful.
Usually it's not the video store clerk's job to come home and watch the movie with the customers, but today, as we are friends IRL, I shall do it.
Thank you so much.
Let's get on to your next weekly choice. This is, I would say, of all the films here, an absolute video store classic.
Yeah.
A sleepover classic, if you will. A cult classic. This is Cruel Intentions.
Drama.
And we've got this beautifully displayed in our cult film section, which is where I think it deserves to be.
Absolutely.
Tell me about the first time you saw this 1999 classic.
Okay, 1999. I am definitely a child. I think I'm 11 years old. My sister is about 16 or 17 years old, and it is MA 15 plus. I set the scene. I hit puberty when I was like 6. I got my period when I was 8. I have a full woman body. I'm in full horniness again. This is my horniness period, right? And my sister is babysitting me, but she's annoyed to be babysitting me. She
She's
wants to go and see.
woman-sitting you, it
She's woman
sounds
sitting
like.
me, and she wants to go and see Cruel Intentions.
Wow.
And I say, I guess I'll come to the movies. And I go and see Cruel Intentions. I do not get ID'd. I go and I sit in that cinema and I watch Cruel Intentions with my best friend, who is still my best friend, who I'm staying with here in Sydney, because Wagga Teen Pregnancy Capital of Australia, my sister's best friend had a son my age, right? This is mad. This is madness.
Wow.
So
It's like an MC Escher painting that I'm hearing right now.
So we're there. He's gay and I'm horny.
Wow.
And
And were you like that before the movie started, or is this the movie that switches you both on?
I think maybe this changed both of us. I think maybe we had something like bubbling
Yeah.
away inside of us.
I mean, that Ryan Philippe ass shot in this movie, that's enough to change someone's chemistry, you
It's
know?
crazy. And Joshua Jackson's delivery of
wow.
that character.
Yeah, the first gay character in a movie. Joshua
What?
Jackson with his beautiful bleach blonde hair in this film.
I know, it'd be like, how do we make Pacey gay? Blonde.
Blonde.
Make him talk like this. Gregory? Oh, it was up. It's time.
Yeah.
But that kiss, that
Wow.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair kiss was very important for me.
Yes.
Very important for me.
Take us back.
I remember looking at my sister, and my sister, because my sister,
She's like, don't kiss me.
no, my sister was very like much more prudish than me. I think I like told my parents that I was bisexual when I was like 5. Like I was like, when I grow up, I'm gonna have a wife, and they were like, okay. And I didn't really
And
believe.
they're like, Cruel Intentions isn't even out yet. What the hell?
yeah. I didn't really believe in like bisexuality because in the 90s people said it wasn't real. So
Yeah.
I assumed that like I would just run out of straightness and eventually I'd grow out of men and I
It's
would
a long curve. It's a long
and I would
curve.
eventually just
Yeah.
be gay. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm probably going to have a wife because you can't have both. It's the 90s. Don't be crazy. And then I went to see that movie and I was like, seems like Sarah Michelle Gellar's having both. Actually seems like she's having both. Okay. And she just, the corset, I could tell you every single line of this movie. I could tell you the entire soundtrack. You've read my book. I write about the
You
soundtrack
write
a lot.
about the soundtrack a lot.
I am obsessed with this film. It's the most stunning. I love it. And I've never even seen Dangerous Liaisons. That it's
I would never see it now. This is the most perfect version of it because for me, there's something about translating these high stakes texts to high school.
Yeah.
I said that like I intended it to sound like a rhyme. I know that it wasn't a rhyme, and I just was trying to figure out each word as it went along.
No, it's
but
beautiful.
I think there's something about that where I think because high school, when you're in there, when you're a teenager, your hormones are freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So you feel like everything feels so life or death and so high stakes. So I feel like when you like, there's something about high school films and teen cinema, especially horny ones, where the tone feels correct. And there's stuff in this film that I think you can look at it with the lens of looking back in the past. You go, oh, how camp. But I think the more correct way for me to look at it is like, no, this is operatic.
Yeah.
This is like the high opera of high school.
Yes.
And I think with Cruel Intentions, it's coming in 1999. So there's always like these films about society and how society acts. And with Cruel Intentions, like these kind of sexual politics in it, it to me is so funny to think about going like, okay, we've got this book from the 1800s and it translates perfectly to 1990s America.
I know.
Because the sexual politics are the same. They've just caught up there.
And it's just a status game. And it's such a perfect place exactly to put a status game in a high school. But we don't just see, like, it's not Clueless. It's not Buffy. It's not what we're already seeing right now. It's something that looks so elevated. The design is stunning because they're in this beautiful Manhattan apartment. And, like, every building is so enormous and every person looks so tiny in these enormous buildings. Like, it's so incredible, and the music is just so, everything is so legato. Like, there's hardly anything that really hits with a driving beat. It is so sexy. Oh my god, this movie.
And the performances are all this kind of like nice stagey big characterizations. Like Selma Blair's doing something insane in this.
When she's doing the secret society, Catherine, Cecile, it's like, what did the director say to her to do that? Like, it's all the performances are really big, but suitable for screen.
Suitable for
so, like,
screen.
it's not like something like Clue where you're like, this is a theater piece and like, I get this.
Yeah.
It's like somehow it's like this 3/4 halfway between. I don't know how they've done it.
It's the same length as Vin Diesel's board shorts in his iconic Drunken Love video clip.
It's a Vin Diesel board short level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Perfect.
I think there's something in this movie as well that is... When you describe it as like kind of like a bisexual movie or a bisexual experience igniter, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think there's something in it. Because it's been a long time since I've seen this film, but I've been trying to like remember and place it, and I did feel it in my waters that this might be a film that you would pick. So I put it on in the background, placing into it, and there's kind of like this talk about how that when you have sex, you kind of become part of like this club.
Yeah.
And I think there's something in that does feel like a queer narrative. Like going like there's like this whole secret world that you're not part of, that you're hidden from or you're not part of. There's something in there I go, oh, okay, this movie is more important than people remember it to be.
I think so. And I think I really felt that way. I felt like I remember taking that attitude into high school, and as each person lost their virginity, I remember collecting them. Wow. And I was also the person that you came out to in school because I was like, I had no shame and I would talk about anything, but I would keep your secrets. And I was very like, wanted to be a counselor kind of vibe. Wow. And so...
The Michelle Brasier story is kind intentions. That's what I
kind
like.
intentions.
Yeah, kind intentions. It's still horny, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's
actually
nice.
Quite nice.
I check in.
Yeah.
I check in. But it was just really lovely, like, to be like, I don't know, this film just went, this can be your personality if you don't know what it is yet. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it could have gone the wrong way.
Yeah, but it's the hallmarks in like how it knows itself and how it presents itself are in there quite early. Like Christine Baranski as Selma Blair's mother. It's
She's
like,
perfect.
that's right there. I think when you get her in, you know that the movie's right. Like she's such a funny presence and such like an expert like vehicle for dialogue to come out of.
Yeah,
I think
she's
amazing.
Is she in Bad Mums 2, Bad Mums 1?
I've
Both, Bad Mums.
I've only seen Bad Mums. I've not seen Bad Mums Christmas. So
I love Bad Mums Christmas. I put it on every Christmas. It rules. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it rules.
I'm not saying it's good. It just rules, okay? It's not good. It rules. But I love Christine Baranski. And the final thing I'll say about Cruel Intentions, the thing I remember is like, I want to kiss you. Not there. And then he's like, that scene, Selma Blair's reaction when she's like, oh, I would have seen this movie like maybe 10 years old. It played on TV a fucking lot.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh, that's interesting. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I remember, she whispers she's like telling Catherine, Sarah Michelle Gellar, about it, and she's like, and then he started writing the alphabet with his tongue.
Yes.
And then that caused
The
an
way she
entire
whispers
generation of men to try and write the alphabet with their
Oh, yeah.
tongues, which is
Dude.
not what we need.
I'm doing the fucking Greek alphabet and blowing minds. It's a few letters short, but they're a little bit weirder. All right, we're going to get into we've walked through the weekly section. We've wandered through, we've absorbed the cinema history, we've checked in with the family. Our intentions are now kind, and we're looking at your new release film.
New release.
Which is one of the kindest films, I would
Yeah.
say, in recent years. This is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Yes.
Comedy.
Wow.
I adore this film.
We've bookended today with the most sincere man and the most sincere shell.
Yes.
And they're both kind of Italian.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. I adore this film. I mean, I love sincerity. I love earnestness. And when you pair it with like a good sense of humor, it's so disarming. And I think that they've really done that. Like, I think Paddington does it. Paddington 2 does it. But they have a little
We're
bit
yet to
more.
find out about Paddington 3.
Yeah, you have to find
Yet
out
to
about
find
Paddington
out.
3. But it looks like it's set in the jungle and it's going to be an absolute romper. But it's like, you know, there's so much whimsy, and that whimsy can be too much for some people. Not for me. I love the Paddingtons. But I think the whimsy in Marcel has enough melancholy that it invites people in, and it is more accessible.
Yeah.
It is such a perfect movie for me, for everything that I care about and love.
Let the record show, if you're not watching the video version of this, when you identified melancholy, I like bear pawed at you to signify how correct you
I was
were.
like my dog when
Yeah.
it's 5 p.m. being like, excuse me.
Yes, I like it. But I think that's it for me too, because I tried to watch this a couple of years ago when it first came out online, and I liked the shorts, and just there was something that I couldn't zone in on. So I was like, not the time, but I want to give it this time of day because I like the shorts. I love Jenny Slate.
I love Jenny Slate. When I was writing my book, my reference was Jenny Slate's Little Weirds.
Oh, whoa. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Have you read that?
I've not read it.
Oh, you got to read it. It's great.
Wow. Okay. Or should I listen to it?
You should listen to it because,
Okay.
I mean, she's great.
Because I'm listening to the Michelle Brasier book right now, and I'm like, okay, I like the freaking audio performance.
The audiobook is the best way to listen to my
And
book.
if she reads the whole thing in the style of Marcel,
That would be so nice.
very, very sweet. But I think that it's that melancholy of life. And it's like when I was watching it now, and I think it's like, because it's a very mature film. Like, it's a film for mature kids.
Yeah.
And because it's the way it discusses and has this beautiful small perspective on life from a child's perspective. And it's like the precociousness and the way that this character talks feels so natural. But then there's like these sad things that happen. Like, it's Marcel is like, he's kind of like this lone survivor of this tragedy in this kind of way. It's just him and his grandma, played by Isabella Rossellini. Amazing vocal performance as well.
Good.
What a
So
kook.
funny, so sad.
And I'm like a little grandma's boy. Like, I grew up with my yaya. Like, that was my primary carer in my life. And seeing this movie this time, I was like, oh no, fuck. This is like hitting me in a really like sweet way. And I think but the thing that really impresses me is like how maturely it discusses those things. And I think that, you know, maybe kids 8+ would kind of get something out of it, because I think kids should still see things that will help them understand the world and life and stuff. Beautiful version of it. But the thing that really impressed me is like it's shot like a fucking documentary.
Yeah.
But then they've got these complicated or minorly complicated like stop motion animation playing in handheld. I'm like, I don't even know how they did that.
That's what I thought too. I was like, I was going to look at videos of how they made it, and then I was like, I actually don't want to know at all.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to enjoy this.
Because that's the magic spell of Marcel the Shell, you know?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's such an incredible film. I saw it in the cinema. I waited because it was out like Criterion, like you could watch it, but I didn't get to see it at any like festivals or anything like that. I just saw it.
Unfortunately, it was a coronavirus situation, this film.
Yeah, right. I see. That makes sense.
One of the things COVID stole from us.
Yes, but when it finally came out at the cinema, I went with my friend Jill, and we'd both been like kind of grappling with being like starting to be recognized and starting to like, and what's my value, and is it, you know, like if I stop being quote unquote well known or like famous, or if my work is shit, then am I shit? And then we sat there watching it, and that bit where Marcel is looking at all the YouTube views go up.
Yeah,
and
he's got 84 views.
Yeah. And then there's like all these, and he's like, well, it's not really a community. It's more of an audience. It's an audience, but it's not a community.
Yeah.
And I was like, and Jill and I just grabbed each other's hands and just started bawling. Like, it just speaks to adults in a really beautiful way.
Yeah, I think that is such a specific thing that it nails.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anything else in media talk about modern day audiences the way this film does.
Yeah.
Because you've got this moment where he sees 84 views and goes, oh, 84 people have seen this movie,
Yeah.
have seen my short, and he's touched by it. But then when Marcel becomes like this viral sensation, you're seeing he puts like this plea to help him find his family out
Yeah.
there. And nobody gives a shit. All
Yeah.
the people care about, like these millions of people are doing these react videos or trying to find his house
going
and
out
not
the
helping
house.
him.
Exactly.
And it's like they don't see him as a person. It's
Yeah.
it's not support. It's like they're not supporting him. They're just like, there's a difference between being a fan and being a supporter or something. And I was like, I've never seen that discussed before.
It feels like an attempt to partake in that world and to partake in that moment rather than to change that moment.
Yeah.
And if you were to interfere and try and help Marcel, then like that moment would be gone and you couldn't be part of it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something, for me, it very specifically speaks to like fame and the internet and things, but like I think it can probably speak about community at a larger sense. Like when there's 84 of you, it feels like there's maybe someone's going to help you, and when it's just a faceless crowd, it's like the bystander effect, which has kind of largely been debunked, but you know, it's kind of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like the bystander effect. Beautifully put. Any final thoughts on Marcel the Shell?
I think it's beautiful. I'm interested in the fact that they went through a divorce when they made this film.
That is interesting because the character, it's Dean Fleischner?
Fleischer, I think.
Dean, his name's Dean.
I keep wanting to say Fleischman.
Me
Have you
too.
seen? Oh yeah, Fleisch Camp.
Yeah.
Is that
Dean,
it?
Dean Fleischer Camp.
Oh
Dean
God,
Fleischer Camp.
sorry.
We're pretty close.
I wanted to say Fleischman because I just watched
We just
Fleischman
said
is in Trouble.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's a TV show. We dare not fucking say one more word about
No
it.
TV shows.
Only movies.
Yuck.
But I think that's interesting too because they're going through this divorce. The characters are going through a divorce, but also Marcel is his real life ex-wife.
Yeah, it's really
Interesting.
sad. It's crazy.
Crazy stuff.
And he's going through a breakup in the movie.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah. Next time I'm going to watch it with that as my main primary angle of exploration.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, Michelle, we've come to that time of the show where I feel so deeply connected to you right now. You've taken me to the tour of Wagga Wagga's beautiful civic video. I've sat in the cinema with you watching Cruel Intentions, and something strange is going on in that space. And I've been in the Familia, and now Marcel, I've climbed out of the shell. And that one sucks, but the first two were good.
No, that was beautiful.
No, the last one was shit. But I'm still feeling connected and empathetic towards you.
Staff pick.
And I've taken all those in, and I've been thinking about what to recommend you. And it became clear to me quite quickly. I knew that there'd be a fast movie up for grabs here. And I started thinking about this film that I really love. There's this film that I really love, and I think is the best direct-to-video action movie ever made. And it is, I'll describe it, but I'm going to say the reason why I chose it for you. I already was thinking about, and then I'm listening to your book, and you mentioned the name of one of my favorite actors. And she has a small supporting role in this. Not small, she's a supporting character. And there's no small roles, only small actors. And this is not a small actor. She's one of my favorite actors, and you mentioned your love for her as well. The actor I'm talking about is Brittany Murphy.
Ah, yes.
And this is a movie called Drive from 1997.
Oh.
Action.
Have you ever seen this movie?
I have never seen Drive. I have walked past
Have
it.
a look at this.
Oh my
Have
gosh.
a look at this. This is Drive from 1997. Basically, it is a car buddy road trip movie with Mark Dacascos and Kadeem Haddison. And Mark Dacascos is the ultimate direct-to-video action star. He goes on to play the Chancellor in the Iron Chef America series. He's also the main villain in John Wick Chapter 3,
yes.
Parabellum. And I
love John
think
Wick.
he is he's like this great martial artist. He's a true master. And their chemistry is great. They're on this road trip along this, like, because he's got cybernetics put into him, which effectively turned him into a superhero.
Yes.
And there were secret Chinese agencies trying to attack him. So it's part RoboCop, part Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Part... I guess, like road movie, but Brittany Murphy steals the entire show with this charming early performance and just this, like, you know, she's so young, brilliant young actor, just radiating this goofiness, and this movie star energy is just bursting out of this small character inside what is the craziest, coolest martial arts direct-to-video action movie ever made.
Okay.
And it's just like, I think it's so Michelle. I think you're going to freaking flip for this one.
I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah.
This is the best.
I think you'll dig it. You'll dig it. This is one of my, like, I've been wanting to bring this one out into the store and recommending to someone because I think it honors part of video stores, which is this kind of films that didn't get much play outside of the video store.
Yeah.
It just feels like that kind of real fun discovery. It's such a charmer, and the action is fucking unbelievable.
Okay, gorgeous. I'm really, really, really excited.
Well, enjoy it. Enjoy it. You're going to take home that. You're going to take home new release of Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. You're going to take home Cruel Intentions. You're going to take home with you Furious 7. Furious 7.
Furious 7.
Put FX in there too, because I want to rewatch that with you. I need to find out how to like it, because my life won't be complete.
I'll help you.
Thank you.
I'll help you. I'll be relentlessly positive, but not in an annoying way.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see about that. And also, please check out the audiobook version is what we're saying. The audiobook version is the one. But if your ears are not so strong and your eyes love to read, also the physical book version, get that. You can get an ebook version. My Brother's Ashes Are in a Sandwich Bag. Your great book. It's so good. Beautiful memoir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think I should write some secrets about myself so you can read them too, so we can be on an even playing field.
This is the thing. I realize there's so many people know so many things about
I'm
me
learning
now.
a lot about you.
Yeah.
The chapter I listened to on the way into Mini was quite hectic.
What was it?
You were trying to get a plane, let's just
Oh,
say.
yeah. I've had a lot of plot in my life. Like, the notes would be, like, too much.
Yeah, strip some of these back.
Yeah.
But it's so good, man. I'm
Thank
loving
you.
it. It's so funny. It's so moving. It's beautiful. Everyone should listen to it. The link's in the show notes. Let's say that. It's there. Link through.
I'll just say it. The link is in the show notes. I'll just say it.
The last video store.
Thank you for checking out The Last Video Store with me, your host, Alexei Toliopoulos. Please subscribe, follow, share the podcast amongst your friends as well. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, Last Video Store Betoota. So check us out and share us in all of those places. And if you want your own bespoke customized recommendation from me, you can submit an online order at any of those places, in a comment, in a 5-star review, with your weeklies and your new release pick, and I will come to you like I did at the top of this episode and give you a recommendation based on your taste. So thank you very much. Love you. Love movies.